Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Danger Zone podcast. This is episode 7. Vince and Chris here with you as always. So today we dove into race and racism. We started out kind of off topic talking about Candace Owens. She's basically a right-wing political pundit, and we were talking about her persona, and it had to do a little bit with race and how that kind of factors into her positioning on the right, or how we perceive it to. We had a good conversation. We didn't agree about everything, but after the podcast was over, we continued the conversations. I think it was good. We both got new perspectives and on what we were trying to say, and maybe didn't come out clearly. So you'll hear that in the episode, and nothing's perfect, but it's good. And I appreciate the fact that he and I still continue talking. Our ideas about subjects still evolve, and we're willing to have those open, honest conversations and try to do it objectively. And that's kind of like what all of this is, and what we try to hope that we bring to each episode as best we can. So yeah, this is episode 7 of the Danger Zone podcast. Sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy it. And here we go.
Highway to the danger zone. Gonna take it right into the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone.
I feel like this is going to be a beautifully awesome episode, and I'm super fucking charged for it, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I have the opposite feeling, but no, it's good. You gotta be balanced.
No. Keep your pessimism, and I'll be optimistic,
All right,
and we'll balance that shit out, and it'll end up, mediocre like the rest of them.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
Yeah, for our listener.
It's our winning formula right there.
Yeah. What's that? Always Sunny, honey and vinegar.
Honey and vinegar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Vic Vinegar. I'll be Vic Vinegar. Fine.
We'll be the wheat and chaff. Dude, no one ever wants to be the chaff. We're all wheat. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about race, right? That was the plan?
Yeah, man.
All right.
All of the races.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not all. We'll do our best to cover everybody.
Yeah.
No one will be excluded.
The reason me and you decided we wanted to talk and record these is because we wanted to talk about dangerous, like socially dangerous, awkward.
Yeah, some like taboo shit that nobody's
like things
supposed
that
to talk about.
tiptoe around. So
yeah, fuck that.
We need to stay true to that and try and tackle some of these world problems that we're going to solve in our...
That's what we're here for. I know. And the fact that we haven't solved all of the world problems by episode 7 is kind of infuriating.
I know.
So I'm behind.
We're working on it, man. We got to
get on this shit.
So we're going to solve racism today, and then we'll work on...
yes. We're going to solve
prison
racism.
reform next time.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're going to cure racism.
So I was called a racist on Facebook today. I got in a couple Facebook and Twitter debates and about what's her name, Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens.
Yeah,
Red Pill Black for anybody who doesn't know who she is.
Yeah, and I just basically I commented on an interview she was in, and I was like, I just can't listen to her. Everything she says sounds rehearsed or just purely disingenuous. It seems like a talking point. Everything's just
exactly. Yeah, she's talking points and sound bites all day.
Yeah.
You know what? I discovered her a while ago, which in nowadays terms probably is maybe half a year ago or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But no, I discovered her on Facebook or something like that. Just came up in my feed, and she was talking about who the fuck knows what. And she was going by Red Pill Black. It's her whatever name. And I agreed with like a lot of the shit that she was saying. So I might have liked one of her pages, whatever. She popped up once in a while. She'd do like little 3-minute fucking videos. And I was like, all right. But then I got some solid long form conversation out of her. And that's when you peel back all of the layers of somebody who can talk or speak about a subject for a few minutes as opposed to droning on for hours and really kind of exposing their background knowledge to certain things or their ability to articulate certain ideas in certain situations surrounding different
sure.
kinds of topics. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's when you're like, oh, there it is.
because I think the media, the way they do interviews, and I say that really, I use that loosely.
Very loosely.
Everything's go, 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 go. Get our 3-minute back and forth, cut to break, come back, have
You
four
already know
people
what you're
argue
talking
about
about.
it. Yeah, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You got your talking points, and you only have to sort of filibuster anything that you can't talk about intelligently for a couple
That's
minutes,
it.
and then commercial, and you're out of there.
Yep, that's all.
And
So you can
that's
do
what
that.
people do.
You can do that all day for 3 minutes to just ignore a topic or to sidestep it or anything like that. You can do that all day. But
Yep.
once you're cornered and you have somebody pressing you,
Yep.
I mean, that's what you backpedal, or then you just stand your ground and you repeat the same things that you said over and over again.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any. And that's the thing, like with her, it was pretty easy to see that she doesn't necessarily have any original ideas. Maybe I shouldn't say that as a blanket statement, but so much of everything that she is are talking points, or she's the figurehead that's been adopted. She's whatever. She's the black female fucking Tony Lauren or Tommy Lauren or whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah. Tommy, I think.
That's all she is. And then you have the gay flamboyant fucking Milo Yiannopoulos, and you have all of these like little figures that find this weird little niche that they fall into, and they're like, oh man, I am a rare almost commodity to either the left or the right, whichever one, and I can be this figurehead for them, and they're gonna be like, whoa, look, we have this diverse person that agrees with us and says all of this shit.
Yep.
And they're just filling that fucking little void and being that puppet that they need to be. And it's gross and it's whatever they do, but they get paid and that's how they survive. And what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's exactly. And the ironic thing was, so when I commented, I wasn't, debating any race or anything like that on Twitter or Facebook. I was commenting on the substance of what she was talking about.
Yeah, but
and
dude,
so the response from this, like Midwestern wife was, "Wow, Chris is racist." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, of course.
Like, what does that have to do with anything? Because
of course.
I disagree with a conservative black woman. Like,
Yep.
I disagree with her because she's black. What? It was absolutely insane. But the thing is, I don't want to fucking tiptoe around it. Like, she is used by the right. As, in my opinion, as
they're using
a token
each other.
black person.
It's
no, you're right.
It's not even that.
Yeah.
It's fucking it's a mutually beneficial relationship
Yep.
for her and for the blanket right wing propaganda arm of the world, and they use her as to like reach out to people to be like, oh shit, somebody that looks like me, someone that sounds like me, it's a fucking woman, it's a person of color, female. Like, she's ticking these little boxes, and on top of that, then she has a platform. They support her. She gets paid.
She has a brand. She can sell out a small venue for a little speech, or I don't know if she's written anything, but she could probably make a decent amount of money off a book deal here or there.
She's a pundit all over the fucking country now.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing her talk, and she kind of shot down the ideas of having any political aspirations. That's clearly not true.
Yeah.
And
hopefully, the thing is, I think the reason she gets away with this act is because she is intelligent, she's well educated, she's she represents herself well, she speaks about her. She's able to get off her talking points very clearly and stay on message. And she's got that craft down, and when she stays on topic, and I mean, she's articulate in that way, and she can say very concisely and accurately what she needs to say and her viewpoint and all of that. But it's when there is more than 5 minutes to talk about something and somebody starts actually probing into her ideas and all of that shit, and she's backed into her corner, and then you're like, okay, no, you're not allowed to use those words anymore. You need to come up with new ones
that's when it starts to fall apart. I mean, she still
that
she
climate
still,
change thing with
she
her.
still speaks well. She still sounds good, but
Yeah.
you're like, there's no substance behind it. So, but I mean, I think so. Besides beating up on Candace Owens, you
For
guys
sure.
should go check her out though. Seriously, like listen to what she says, and it's super fun. She doesn't believe in climate change, which is
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
Like vehemently. But anyways, I think more appropriate to what our conversation was going to be about today is kind of like the race baiting thing, like you were talking about, how all of a sudden because you're a white male, you're not even allowed to post a comment on somebody who is a female person of color, because automatically somewhere out in cyberspace someone's going to shoot you down and say you're a racist simply because you're disagreeing with someone of another race, and it's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, no, I
it's
don't.
really
I don't
hard.
disagree with you because you're black. It's because I disagree with your ideas. Like, get the fuck. I'm so sick of hearing this bullshit. Like, it's infuriating to me.
Yeah, it's hard to. I take things to heart, you know, and I'm self-critical, and so the whole social media thing, I was really hesitant, like even to get on Twitter. I finally broke down in like December just because I needed to rant about Mike Pence one day, and you know, and the first time I got like
Mikey.
a bunch of like hate, I was like, oh my god, this is not something I'm comfortable with, and I would read all of them and like analyze it. Is this true? You know, and you really have to understand there are just hateful people that
And they exist
simply
in the
love
internet
to
because
troll.
it's a safe fucking space.
You know?
Like, that's it. Like, you can sit behind, you can be a little SJW behind your keyboard all day long, and you don't have to interact with the person or look at them in the face or anything like that. And you can spew all of this bullshit, and then you have this community behind you in whatever camp that you're in. It's not even a left or right
No,
thing.
yeah,
It's just
it's
whatever
both sides.
extreme view. And you have this like microcosm of like-minded people that are just like, we're going to support you, and being like, yeah, fuck that guy for saying anything against this black woman. He's clearly a racist. That's bullshit.
Well, it's the super loud minority that coalesce together
exactly.
on social media, on the internet, and you know, Twitter or whatever, and they support each other, and they're more likely to do that than the rational-minded, you know, middle-of-the-road people.
Which are the majority, by the way.
Yeah, well, I
The
mean, by
huge fucking
definition,
majority.
the middle 80% is the majority. You know, if you have 10% left too far, 10% right too far, and everybody else shades in the middle.
But that's the problem. Is like that's like a person like fucking Jordan Peterson, and I know we've talked about him before, but a rationally objective person for the most part would usually be drowned out and not have a platform. It's almost lucky that we have people that are so far left that they'll call someone like Jordan Peterson an alt-right fascist, because then all of a sudden now he has a platform because he is on one of the bookends. If he was just a middle of the road person, if he was just a middle of the road person, then nobody would give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're almost doing us a service by calling him out for just such ridiculous bullshit.
Yeah. It still pisses me off because he's
for sure.
clearly
I mean, don't
not
get me
a
wrong.
fan of Nazis. I once again, I think his word choice is more of a literal classic definition of left, you know, far left ideals or ideologies, and he probably, I'm kind of speculating, but I've listened to tens upon tens and tens of hours. I've read, you know, his books, so I feel comfortable speculating, but I think he's looking at it in the big picture, the communist experiment, you know, that failed.
Oh, yeah.
And 50 million people, roughly, maybe more, if you count, you know, all the gulags and the wars, and there's no records of how many tens of millions of his own people he killed.
He's playing the long game.
Yeah.
For sure. You
And
know what
so,
I mean? He's
in America, in the U.S., I should say, left means Democrat, right means Republican. So if you're bashing on the left, even though you're talking about the extreme dangers as far as like going too far and like having totalitarian socialism or communism.
the people that want to fucking control speech and all of this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, which is insane too. And to me, that
Right.
that's where the far left and the far right come around in the circle and start to meet up when they try
Oh,
and
yeah.
control and dictate what other people's freedoms are and
Yeah, for
mandate
sure.
how you have to be. And I don't want the left doing it or the right doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like
I
they're
want them both to let me be free and let me do my thing. And
right.
yeah, that's
They both in their own specific ways want to shut down ideas and only allow you to believe, think, and say the things that they do.
yeah,
And it's fucking insanity.
yeah.
Like there's no freedom of ideas or even like word expression. Like words hurt me and all this shit. It's like, yeah, dude, words are gonna fucking hurt sometimes. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like there's this whole like safe space culture that we fucking have is just it's so tough. I don't like it's setting the generation up for not understanding what the real world is like.
Yeah.
And like I kind of hate even saying that because
The real world is ugly. It is.
and well, it's just like I remember hating to hear that when I was younger, and it's probably because now I'm older and maybe I understand more.
What, safe space or that the world's a shitty place?
No, not safe space, but being like, well, when you get older or some shit like that. Like, I don't know. But so fuck, man, I fucking totally lost my train of thought. Damn it.
So you
Damn it, I
said
blame all
you
of you.
heard something when you were younger that you didn't like, and I was trying to ask, like, what was it, the safe space phrase, or was it that people were telling you that the world's, a harsh reality, like,
Oh yeah. It was probably it was really that. But
Yeah.
anyways, I'm sick of the bubblegum safe thing where people say you can't say that because that fucking hurts my feelings or some shit. And I agree with that obviously to an extent, but that's when we police each other and as a community say, okay, we don't tolerate those things. If you're going to continue to say these things, nobody's going to interact with you, and that fucking sucks, and that's just the way that it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's not the shutting down of like, you just can't say that because it hurts my fucking feelings. Like,
Yeah.
no, dude. And
Well,
then
that
those
was
lines
Jordan
get
Peterson's
blurred.
thing with the mandating of
Yeah, exactly.
the use of
Yeah,
gender
section
pronouns, not the actual
C16
use of
or
it,
whatever.
or whatever. And he said it over and over and over again. It's not that he doesn't want to say it. He said he has used it. He will use
Exactly.
pronouns, personal pronouns of a
Is the
person's
mandating
choice,
of it.
but the government shouldn't be mandating it. That's what
Well,
he
and
was
then-
saying, and that's I totally agree. I think that's
Yeah.
totalitarianism. It's
Well, and that his
thought
point
police,
was
thought
like,
control.
okay, his point was you're gonna jail me if I don't use these words, and they were like, no, we're not gonna jail you. There's a fine associated with it.
Yeah.
He's like, what if I don't pay the fine? Like, well, you'll be fined again. He's like, what if I continue to not pay these fines? What obviously laws literally they are in place, and if you don't follow them, at some point down the line, you will be jailed and you'll be taken into custody. You'll be put in a fucking cage.
Yep.
So he's like, no matter what the fuck it is, at some point in time, me refusing to follow this law eventually will put me in that position.
Yeah, unless you pay to get out of it.
Well, that's the thing. He's
Yeah.
like, I will never do that.
Yeah.
So yes, eventually one day I'll end up in a cage because I refuse to conform to this fucking law that's mandating, speech.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking New York has some goddamn crazy law where there are like 60 plus gender pronouns or some shit that are on the books now that you
Yeah.
have to use. And it's like, where the fuck as people do we draw the line with where we have some sort of objective reality or some sort of like reasonable, I don't know, idea of what
No,
we
it's
will
definitely
all.
the pendulum has swung back and forth as it will do from right to left on certain issues. And the unfortunate thing is when you make real progress in one area, typically of like human rights and freedoms, there's a percentage of the people that will take it too far I hate to say that, but they'll take it to a place that
No, man.
will outrage the other side so much and be like, whoa, come on. You can't go there. We're not cool with that. We'll give you, we'll give you gay marriage or whatever. And I hate to say give because it's a right and it's a fucking stupid thing that it was ever But we all know the situation. We all know.
Yeah, it's just the reality of life.
Yeah,
It's
it was
fine.
just that's just the way it is.
That's another thing. Can we just speak openly about the realities of the world and not have to fucking hide behind it? Like, I mean, we do it all the time. I go, oh, I hate to have to fucking say this. It's like, all right, yeah, I do, and I feel bad about it, I guess. But can we just speak blatantly about just the things that exist in the fucking world without having to be like, I'm sorry. Like, what if I quote somebody and then all of a sudden because I said a word within a quote, now I'm the asshole? It's like, settle down. Like, come on. There should be meaning behind the words. That's what really matters. Words
Context.
are vessels for conveying ideas, and feelings.
Yeah.
If the words I use are conveying things that are fucking terrible, then that's fine. But if I just use a word or whatever I don't know, man. There should be intent should be behind these things that is completely lost. Now things are just taboo and you just can't even fucking say them.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden
that's the world we live in, man. Everything is bullet point, 140 or 180 or 280 characters.
Man,
like everything's
some characters right now. Right?
Yeah, but still, like the most you're required to pay attention or speak your mind. You have to get everything in a paragraph or less.
Yeah, that's less than a paragraph for sure.
Yeah, like a short paragraph.
A couple of sentences.
Yeah, well, with shorthand, and like some abbreviations.
No, it's crazy.
You can get
well, that's
5,
honestly, I feel like that's the momentum behind podcasts and long form conversations or YouTube or whatever it is. Is it's
100%. Yeah.
It takes away those little soundbitey things, and you get to have long conversations. And instead of me having a 2-sentence issued statement that can be misinterpreted, I can sit here all day and give more clarity to what I was trying to say, and then even if somebody else is like, man, it still sounded kind of fucked up, I'd be like, all right, cool, well, we can do this again, and I could try my best to try to tell you what I was saying.
Yeah.
And if we get there, we get there. If not, I don't know, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Like I was telling somebody, I can talk to anybody on any spectrum of political, as long as the conversation is honest and both of us have an open mind about, the realities, and somebody's not putting on a front and just spewing talking points and completely closed off to learning from each other. Otherwise, I can't do it. If the person comes across as just fake and not really believing what they're saying, or they're just kind of spewing things they haven't looked up for themselves.
Well, that's even if you believe the things that you're saying, and you truly do, like, you can still be open-minded enough to hear what somebody else is saying, and listen, and not just be like, yeah, I heard the words that you said. Like, no, like, internalize those a little bit. Maybe take some third-party perspective, try to see it from someone else's viewpoint, and then you can try to put that together. And you still might not fucking agree, but the fact that you at least gave it a chance is huge, because that shit doesn't happen anymore.
No,
I mean, it does, but it's not
think
publicly shown.
Once on, any given topic or position, once you stop doubting that your point has holes or flaws in it, you're in danger of being completely wrong about something, because you then have a blind spot to something. You've written it off, you've walled it up. This is a fundamental truth that I can't change. And there are some, like, for me, like, all people are fucking equal. Like, as far as they should have the same rights and the same opportunities in life. That's an indisputable fact. Like, things change as you make bad choices or good choices in life, but
equal opportunities.
Equal opportunities should
not
be a
equity
fundamental
of outcome, equal opportunities.
It should be a fundamental right. And that's something that I have walled off as a cornerstone of one of my beliefs, and but other than that, like, trying to say that I don't know, immigration, let's just take that. You take a policy and you put it in your mind and wall it off and be like, this is the way it should be. And you stop questioning it or letting it evolve, and talking to people and learning about it, then it's going to fall apart. And if you build your whole system of thought on faulty logic at the base, eventually it's going to collapse.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I have obviously and we all do, our own opinions on certain topics or whatever it is across the board. No matter what it is, you have your own opinion that you've probably formulated. But at least if you can acknowledge the fact that whatever the topic may be is not completely black or white. Like, let's say, I mean, this is not a fun one, but like someone being pro-choice, all right, or somebody who's pro-life. Like, dude, for me as a parent, like, that's a gray one. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
somebody's screaming out there like, it's not fucking tough. It's a goddamn life. And then someone out there's like, it's a woman's body. It's not fucking tough. I'm like,
Yep.
dude, yeah, but it is tough.
Yeah.
It is tough. Like, I see both sides. Louis C.K. in his last stand-up special had a great like 5-minute intro bit.
Yeah, he started off with the abortion debate.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was powerful, and he was right in all of the things that he said.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, I might lean to one camp more than the other, but damn it, I see the other one's perspective. And that's so many things across the spectrum of life, is like things are not always as black and white as we choose them to seem to be.
Or
like people
that
are like,
people want them to be because it fits
yeah,
their ideas.
exactly.
And you have to
Yeah, it fits
understand,
their
you know,
narrative about life. And
we're
all
a
that
big
shit.
country. You
And
know,
it's
we've got
safe.
300 plus million people, and if 150 million people want one thing and they're passionate about it, and another 150 people on the other side want something else and they're passionate about it, what do? We have
Go
to
those
compromise.
other 50 million.
We have to
50
compromise.
million are the
Like I mean,
deciders.
that's the fucking reality of it. You
We
have
go
to
to the
find
electoral
something.
college.
Yeah. But you have to find something in the middle that everybody can live with, and that's what we have. You have regulations on abortion.
Yeah.
You can't outlaw it because people are still going to do it, and women are going to get hurt in these
Okay, I was not
trailer park.
I was not trying to open up that for debate, but I was just saying in general that it's like both sides have good arguments, sort of, depending on who you are, I guess.
My
But it's
point
not-
is, you have to be able to compromise, and right now we're not doing that on these issues.
yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. The compromise thing is sticky too, though. Like, I
Yep.
agree that it's ideal to have some sort of a compromise, but like in the case of being pro-choice or pro-life, like there's not much compromise there. The best you could do as a compromise would be like, all right, you got 24 hours and you can be choice. But after
No,
that,
there's better compromises, man. There's
all right, I'm just
there's a lot better.
saying, like, obvious. I just made that up.
Yeah,
but
I
I mean, for pro-lifers, obviously, they're like, I don't want to get into the fucking pro-life whatever debate.
Yeah.
Because that's for another day.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. Sorry,
But,
I got
it's
carried
just,
away.
It's just
and
an
started going
example.
down
It's
that
just an
rabbit hole.
example of something that's not fucking as black and white. And like the people want to make things black and white because it makes you feel fucking better. When you can sit there and be like, yes, this is the truth. This is my truth. And this is the only truth. It makes life a lot more fucking simple. And it makes it easier across the board. You don't have these like conflicting ideas coming in at you, and you don't like self-doubt or second-guess things. You're just like, yes, this is the way that the world works, and I feel really fucking good about that right now. Yeah. And people operate on the system, but it's not the fucking reality of the world at all.
I'll tell you
Like,
what, those people
things are
probably
fucking-
sleep a lot better than I do at night because this
well, I
shit
don't
like
believe-
no, this
I
shit
don't
keeps
believe
me
in
up at
good
night,
night's
man.
sleep.
Like
I
I
know.
think I literally will be thinking about these debates in my head over and over and over at 2-3 in the
so
morning.
It makes you a good person, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Makes me fucking
There you
neurotic
go.
and
Oh, dude.
crazy.
Yeah,
But-
I know. Well, that's
But nobody can accuse me of not putting fucking effort of thought into what I'm saying because
No, I mean,
it's all
yeah.
I do.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I mean,
so we got way off topic for like 20
super
minutes.
deviation.
But I mean, it's part of the overall picture, I think, because race is so divisive and our country is so divided. And,
Yeah. Well, it comes back to camps. They're like
I really
teams
wanted
and
to
all
make
that
a
shit.
point too. Something I think about, and I'm not the author of this
Yeah.
idea, but I heard it. I can't remember where I heard it, but somebody made a point one time about the Civil War, and this country has never properly dealt with and healed as a society from the end of slavery, the Civil
Oh,
War.
God.
And
Well-
I mean, it hasn't. Like, think about it. Look at how long it was before.
No, well, that's what like people think that this. You can't even make an argument that the Civil War was the end of racism. Or
No.
anything like
But I'm
that.
saying it's that was 140-ish years ago going on, and
Yeah.
what
I
like
mean, it was a step in the right direction.
50 years
obviously.
ago, we kind of started actually
Yeah.
incorporating black people into our society with
Well,
laws.
that's what I mean, though.
That's what I'm saying, and it's been happening over the last
It's not
50
even that, too,
years,
though.
and we're not
I mean-
there yet. But the point is that we haven't dealt with it honestly and openly. We never did, and these seeds have stayed in certain pockets of societies in certain regions, and they've grown and they've taken root, and it's all because we didn't properly come together. We're still divided. We're just divided under the same government.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess. So, were you looking for a solution to that, or proposing a solution, or are you just stating as fact that there was never any real coming together? Is just.
I'm saying there's a root problem, and to me, that's a huge part of where it begins. And a lot of this other stuff has been treating the symptoms rather than the problem.
Okay.
And there's cultural differences that are just so entrenched in a lot of people's minds on both sides. There's crazy people, and if you go far enough
On
to
all
the right or
sides.
left.
Yeah.
But
That's across the board.
but there's a certain group that it's really part of a legacy that's handed down.
What are we talking about? Just say what
Racism.
you're saying. All right. Okay.
People in the
We said
South
part of a
that
certain
fly
group. What is
Confederate
a certain
flags. Yes,
All right.
I'm talking about a lot of Southerners that fly Confederate flags. Or
Yeah, I live in Maryland, and I saw a Confederate
Yeah.
flag the other day. Or I was driving through Virginia, West Virginia.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we're north as fuck.
Yep.
Like, it bottled my mind when I came to Maryland. They're like, yeah, there's the Mason-Dixon line. It's part of the South. I was like, what in the fuck are you people talking
Yeah.
about? Like, y'all are 3 hours from New York. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know. I see them out here.
That
I'm
shit
in
runs
Nebraska, and I
high,
see
man.
fucking Confederate flags. And I'm like,
And I'm from
those are the people that tried to tear this country apart by force
Yeah,
and
see.
lost, and it was over slavery, and that's the side you're gonna fucking
Well-
stick with 150 years later.
And I'm very sheltered from all of this. I grew up in California, so literally everybody was like, man, fuck all that noise. Like, fuck staying on the East Coast. Screw staying in the middle of the country because that's some bullshit. Let's keep going west. And
Yeah.
so I am the lineage of all of those people. That are
Well,
like,
dude, I so am I, and
I've never seen a Confederate flag really until I fucking moved out here. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's maybe Texas. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing, huh? All right, that's cool.
yeah,
Very good, guys. Very good. At least, I have to say, at least they fly the flag, and I'm like, well, you're putting a signal out. It's like putting the fucking bat signal out. I'm like,
yeah.
all
I mean,
right.
is that really
I
a
learned a
virtue
lot
though?
about-
Like that you're open about your racism? Like that's
No,
not
that's what I'm,
something to.
Well,
That's
would
not
you
a
rather
what?
would you rather a person be open about their racism or closetly fucking diabolical about their racism? At least if I see someone with a
Well,
Confederate
that's
flag,
not-
I'm like, I summed you up in like 5 seconds. I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
We don't even need to
usually
have a
there's a
conversation.
lot of other signs you can make a decision. But no, I would rather them keep that fucking shit to themselves. And
Really?
instead of
All right.
spreading it and putting it out there and emboldening other people to come out and be like, yeah, it is okay to be a fucking racist.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the
That's how
fence
it's
about that.
dude. That's how it's stayed around. That's how if the Confederate flag, if they had just stopped with it, like after fucking after the Civil War, it probably would have
first of all,
died away
I'm
in
not-
history.
I'm not at now you just said getting rid of the Confederate flag. I am not at any way advocating for any government or state or anything like that having some fucking Confederate flag or like Confederate statue, which that's maybe another debate too.
But there are still states that fly it.
Well, that's what I say. I wasn't necessarily arguing that. I was saying like fucking Joe Schmo that's 3 doors down that's got his flag out. We can all as a community be like, fuck that cunt over there. Like clear. Like I would almost rather him fly the flag. We can all be like, look at that piece of shit over there, instead of him going secretly to fucking meetings or something like that and plotting. And we're like, oh yeah, Joe seems like a fucking decent dude. Until all of a sudden he puts his flag out on his porch and you're like, oh, he's been a fucking dickhead this whole time. We had no idea.
That's an ideal situation, though. Like, in that case, that's the best outcome. The worst outcome is Joe starts flying it, and then a week later, Mike's like, yeah, I should do that too.
Yeah, and then we say, fuck Mike too, man.
Yeah, and then you're the fucking minority after like 5 years of...
Good.
You know, you're the only one not flying the Confederate flag, and the...
Perfect.
I mean, how is that perfect? I don't want to live in a fucking neighborhood like that.
I'll die on that hill. But that's what I'm saying is like, okay.
But that doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't help.
No, but you're still living in that community. You're just unaware of it. Wouldn't you be rather aware of the reality of the situation that you live in as opposed to not knowing that Dave and Mike are fucking assholes on the inside?
No.
Like why is that better? Why is that a better situation?
If Dave and Mike are assholes on the inside, my first couple conversations, I'm going to know that, and I'm probably never talking to them again.
Possibly.
I don't need to have a fucking flag outside somebody's house to tell me if they're a good person or not. I'll assume everybody's an asshole until I talk to them. And then if they're not, then I'll be like, well, okay.
So everyone's an asshole. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so now I don't even know where you stand on things. So now every single person that you have yet to interact with is a piece of shit until you. No,
I didn't say a piece of shit. I said an asshole. There's a big difference.
Oh, no, that's fair actually.
Yeah.
See that now I'm not using language well, and that's my fault.
Yeah, but
no, but like I don't. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way that I look at it. It's like, just in general for me, I'm like, no, just be straight up about your dickheadishness, and then we can go on from there. Like I don't know. I would rather. It's like I would rather know that Joe Schmo next to me is a fucking pedophile than not know and let my kids running around the fucking street. Yeah. And mingle with his kids.
But if Joe Schmo was, would you want him flying pedophile flags?
Fuck yeah, they literally have a fucking whole map.
What if the whole neighborhood started flying pedophile flags?
Yeah, good. Then people would fucking kick them the fuck out. They would get shunned until they fucking all moved to some island in the middle of the fucking Pacific where they all had to be fucking pedophiles together because no one would fucking stand for it.
The problem is, I think people thought that at a certain point about racists, that it was dying and that they were going away.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like because it was sheltered, because it was hidden, it would never went away. It was just hidden.
When was it hidden?
That is not a better
when they
solution.
were lynching black people 70 years ago, when they were beating them in the 60s and 70s.
No, that's not what we were talking about.
No, I'm talking about. You're talking about racism, like this part of racism in America.
How did you just all of a sudden go 70 years back on me? I'm talking about like modern times. How you just said how it seemed like it was all in the shadows or something like that, and then all of a sudden there's this resurgence. It's like, no, there wasn't a resurgence. It existed. It was just dark. They were dimly lit, hiding in fucking alleys. It's not like
what I'm saying is, listen, I lived in the South. Like I spent a lot of time in the South.
Exist. They've existed. They just all of a sudden are like fucking coming back out.
No,
it's like, all right.
And that's my point. Is it's not all of a sudden. I'm saying it's lingered. It's stayed. Because of social media and Twitter and our president, it's emboldened them to be even more vocal and to get on, websites and TV and, sort of organize and form massive groups. But it never went away. Yeah,
see, I mean, that's the thing is like, I still don't know if
they
it's
never
better
stopped
to have
flying
those
flags.
Things hiding. That's what I'm.
Police never stopped brutalizing black people.
I'm not arguing those things. I'm saying that it just went away. And it hid. Like,
From
I don't know.
What black people won't tell you that it was hidden. No,
you're literally just now saying like, and I'm like, people are emboldened and they're talking about it more now. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's the point. Is they didn't not exist. They did, but now they're talking about it. And I don't think necessarily that people not talking about it and hiding the fact they're racist is a fucking better thing than them just being openly honest about being fucking racist assholes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I don't think you're understanding. I'm not saying that it went away. I'm not saying that it was hiding. I'm not saying that it's not spiked now. I'm saying the line didn't dip down. It was kind of flatlined. And now there's a spike. It wasn't that it declined and went back up. I'm saying it flatlined forever and it was always there. And now it's spiking.
So you think there are more racists now than there were 10 years ago?
I don't know. I'd be guessing, but I would say no. I'd say...
Well, I mean...
I would say they're just more vocal about it. Yeah, for sure.
No, that's not what I asked. That is not what I asked.
No, I said no.
You said they're more vocal. That's different than them existing.
But I said no. I don't think there are more.
So you don't think there are more now than there are 10 years ago?
I think it's statistically pretty close to being even, I would guess.
Okay, so I totally agree with that. I agree with whatever assholes have existed throughout time will continue to exist. And the only thing that I was advocating is that I don't see how people pretending like they're not assholes is better than them just fucking being assholes. Like, I don't know. Like, there's still to me, that's a silly argument
because, of course, if somebody's a bad person, we all want them to fucking walk around with a sign with all their bad qualities so you can judge them instantly. Yeah. But that's not real life.
That's what they do now.
How about let's deal with problems and educate people and bring people together on a real fucking, a real
And you know what the best way to identify those people are? When they're vocally outspoken about the fact that they're assholes.
No.
Then we can be like, oh yeah, Joe's a piece of shit. Maybe we could be like, Joe, what's up with what's your ideals and your values? He'd be like, I just hate certain groups of people because I hate them.
It doesn't work like that though, man. It doesn't work.
Of course not. But you just said, let's talk about it and we can educate them. Okay, so what's a step to educating person? Starting a dialogue.
Yeah.
Communicating. That's literally what I just said. And then all of a sudden you shut it down. So what are you
I'm
talking
saying
about?
Not talking about a problem doesn't make it go away. That's what I'm saying.
Well, of course not. Not instantly. But that's the thing is you have to be open to ideas. And like once you're talking about it, started a dialogue.
That's the
you're not
point
gonna change
right there.
anyone's mind.
You have to be open to ideas. And people aren't open to having those conversations. They've made up their mind on those issues.
I know. So you just stop. So now we're back at the point of we're unable to educate these people.
Who knew
we're not trying.
Racism was so complicated?
Oh man, the fact that people are racist is a pretty silly thing. I'm gonna hate you because I hate you. It's not gonna have anything to do with what you were born as, woman, whatever race or anything. It's gonna be because you're a shitty human, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna.
Honestly, man, like the color of somebody's skin is the lowest form of judging somebody you could possibly have. It's the most ignorant way to base any of your thoughts and feelings on a person.
No, I mean, Dave Chappelle did it the best.
What did he
100%.
say?
The fucking
I only watched it once
racist.
when it first came out. I don't remember.
Oh, the blind black supremacist.
Oh, on the Chappelle show.
Fucking Dave Chappelle nailed it. There's a black man that was blind who was born in something, and they all told him he was white and to hate fucking black people, and he did because he was blind and he didn't know better. I mean, it literally summed up the absurdity of the entire thing in a fucking 10, 15-minute little mini segment that Dave Chappelle created because he's a fucking genius.
Yeah, no, I remember.
But I mean,
that was talking about his latest stand-up.
Oh no, I mean that was really good too. Actually, I was there for the taping of one of those in DC. So
that's right. Yeah.
Holla at your boy. I did not see me in it. I don't think he used my tape, but I was there and it was glorious.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an absurd fucking thing. Like I'm gonna hate you on merit, not just because
you deserve it, not because of how you were born.
No, yeah. And I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. We went down some crazy rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, we did. It's
people are gonna be like, "You assholes don't know what you're talking about." Like,
for sure. I mean, that's the whole point of it, man. Is just to fucking start talking about things that people don't want you to talk about.
Exactly.
Yep.
But so I don't know. That's it's just such a it's such a shitty fucking thing. And like I know that I feel it and see it from a different perspective than people like minorities or people of color or whatever. Obviously, they have different things that they deal with in a much greater way than I do. I'm sure. I can't even speculate on that because I haven't lived that life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I see the fucking door swinging a little bit and being like, hey, white dude, you have white and male privilege. You're not allowed to fucking have an opinion about anything. Like,
Yeah,
wait,
you're right.
I'm
No,
still,
I mean,
I'm a walking, thinking, breathing human being. And I'm allowed to have a fucking opinion about everything. Don't ever tell me I can't talk about a subject because of now you're being a fucking racist piece of shit. Because of the way I was born, I'm not allowed to have a fucking opinion. Get the fuck out of here.
No, I totally agree.
That shit
agree.
pisses me off.
Yep.
Anyone that listens to this or anything that says he's not allowed to have a fucking opinion about racism or people of color or whatever the fuck, like, no, dude, yes I am. Yeah. Just like you're allowed to have an opinion about any fucking thing in the world, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't fucking tell me I can't talk or think about things just because of the way I was born. That's fucked up.
Yep.
And you wouldn't want that to happen to you, so pull your head out of your ass.
Yep. No, I completely agree. 100%. Everything you said. It's, it's not just that. I mean, it's the male thing too, and
yeah.
I've heard the argument that the oppressors never want to give up power, or how do they word it? Like the losing of power or advantage over another people always feels like oppression to the ones that had it.
God.
Is kind of one of the quotes, and it's not that. Like, it's really not. Maybe for some people, like, okay, but the root of the problem is once you stop treating somebody unfair, like stop treating them fairly on any basis for anything, then you're going into the territory that you're trying to eliminate.
Yeah, you're allowed to shit on me because historically, like, white males fucking controlled this country. That's fucked up. Bro.
No.
You know what? My family didn't control shit.
And it makes it worse.
Like,
it pushes people to the right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're literally, and that's like what a lot of the identity politics that exists today, at least in the left's camp, and I guess maybe in the right too. I don't know, but that's more of like a that's a white people club for the most part, except for Candace Owens. But no, but I mean, like, the identity politics of, like, all right, well, you're a white male, so you're only allowed to talk about these things, and you're only allowed to believe these things, and then these certain groups are all lumped together, and so the best thing that you can ever be, and you can ever have the most rights, is to be like a black transgendered person who also had two male parents that also grew up in the ghetto, and you're like, holy shit, you get all of the brownie points for all of the things because you're the
epitome of virtue signaling for
exactly. You are. They're like, oh my god, you're the holy grail of a human being that's just had the hardest, like, quote unquote hardest go at life, and you're like, yeah, I'm still just a person, bros. Can I just be a person? And then we'll just. But no, like, in those camps, it's like, no, man, no. Fuck, you did all this stuff. It's like, yeah, all right. Yeah. That's cool, man. But I'm still just Dave. Can I be Dave?
Yeah.
Can y'all still just like me because I'm Dave and not because of all this bullshit?
Yep. I would rather have somebody hate me or like me because of my personality. If you don't like me, like, that's totally 100%. Cool. But I don't want it to be because I'm a white dude or because I'm a guy. Like, hate me for who I am.
These are all things that are out of your control. Someone that was born in the ghetto, that had two male dads, that was born black, that also was transgender. Like, all of those things are just circumstances.
And on the other side, like, don't
being.
Just do that. But on the other side, somebody that was born into a racist family in the South that had, was brought up around it and still isn't racist, like, don't put them in that camp. Judge them on who they are. And applaud them if they get out of that and they still have the peace of mind or the free thinking, in order to get themselves away from that and keep an open mind and judge people appropriately for value.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a huge takeaway of things that I feel like, and this sucks because I consider myself at the very least a socially socially liberal person.
Mm-hmm.
But like, damn, dude, I can't even keep up with the far lefties of the fucking universe anymore. So I'm like, man, I guess I'm not liberal enough anymore.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I kind of feel the same way. Like, I don't feel...
It's such a weird thing. It's like
that's why I don't accept, like, saying I'm liberal or I'm Democrat or, I'm conservative.
I mean, I've been in that camp for a long time.
If somebody wants to talk, if somebody asks me, what I say, like, on which issue? What are you talking about?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Let's take it issue by issue.
No. I don't conform to some party. I have opinions about things.
Yeah.
We can talk about those based on whatever the subject matter is.
Yep.
But as far as me being like, oh no, I'm right wing, that means I'm pro-life and the Earth is flat.
I'm not...
Or no, not flat. There's climate change doesn't exist, and we need smaller government and blah 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 blah. Like, like no, the people honestly that are like, oh, I'm for all of these principles, be like, dude, you are? You literally, all of you line up agreeing about all of the same shit? That's fucking nuts to me.
It's laziness. It's intellectual laziness because they don't actually know. All they do is read the fucking script, the party line, and that's it.
The regressive left.
Oh my god.
I agree.
The guy, I can't ever watch him again.
That was such a magical thing. I might have to post that to the pages.
I'll try and have the website up the next day or two.
No, that'll be good. I might start sharing little snippets like that because hopefully everybody appreciates them. People are like, who the fuck is this asshole? Nobody knows who Dave Rubin is.
Yeah.
Well,
he's semi known.
His eyes wander apparently sometimes.
Oh yeah. He's fucking...
when he's being regressive.
Oh my god.
That Ben Shapiro was dead on. That was my favorite impersonation that they did in that bit was the Ben Shapiro. It was
really good. It sounded just like him.
So good. Yeah. Like the words that they used for Jordan Peterson were on point.
Yeah.
But it
was a characterization of Jordan Peterson. It was well done, but yeah, Shapiro was dead on.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Ben is like, well, it was pretty good. Pretty good. That's what I sound like.
yeah, no shit. And I don't like him. I disagree with him. He's a what's the word I'm looking for? He's a somebody who you can have an honest debate with to a point. Like, just because I disagree with him on most things,
a multitude of things.
Doesn't mean that.
See, I don't disagree with him on everything though. That's where
I don't either. On a lot of things. I would say the majority of things I do disagree. But the degree to which I differ is not as wide as with a lot of other people. Like, most of the Fox News pundits and the far right Republicans in office that really just they go there, his views are within the realm of reasonability that I need in order to converse with somebody.
Well, that's like you can take, and the thing is with him and the way that he speaks, he at least gives you the information to show you how he got to the conclusion that he got to. So whether or not you agree or disagree, he at least lays out the blueprint for like, well, this, and this because of this led to this, and that's why I believe this. You're like, all right, I can find flaws in that, and there's some holes.
He's
but
super
at the same
intelligent.
time, you're like, you
he does his homework.
You've thought through this. You know what I mean? It's not like, well, these are the things that I'm supposed to say and think. And, I remember I heard this one guy say this thing, and that made some sense to me. Like, he's actually thought about it. Like, he's a fucking smart dude.
He is.
Again, whether or not you get to the same end conclusion as him, but then that all comes back to like, dude, things are not as black and white as we like to think that they are. Like, it's tough. It's splitting fucking nut hairs out there sometimes.
Yeah. I think some of the problems with a lot of these really intelligent guys like Ben Shapiro and even Jordan Peterson, who
Jordy P.
Yeah, I think their lack of diversity in life experience can hurt their point of view.
That's everybody.
It is, but these guys specifically, because they're out there and hailed as great thinkers in their spheres, I think the reason that they have some of the views they do, some of the ones that I disagree with, just to be frank, might be because of they just don't have the life experience. They haven't lived in a certain situation to really feel it. Sometimes you have to go through something to understand it.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge thing. Like Jordan Peterson being the intellectual that he is, he can quote unquote objectively reason himself through a problem, and like with all of his schooling and everything like that, come to like a psychological perspective on things. But psychology goes out the fucking window when you actually interact with that thing and you feel that thing and you have like emotional triggers that are stimulated from that thing or that situation that somebody who has studied it forever still will not understand. I mean, psychology in itself is like a very it's so fucked up. It's so convoluted and difficult to understand, and like the DSM-5 that just came out is like psychologists have a hard time even putting into words what the fuck they're diagnosing based on certain traits, and even that's like flexible.
For sure.
It's like it's not linear.
But
anyway,
you know what phrase comes to mind when you started on that last point was I forget the MMA fighter, but he was talking. He was a jiu-jitsu guy, and his opponent was like, "Yeah, jiu-jitsu is great until you get punched in the face." It's a lot of like these intellectual ideas, are great, but when life punches you in the face, it's a different thing.
Dude, I've thought about that actually. It's like, what if you were rolling with someone that was really good at jiu-jitsu, and all of a sudden you just fucking decked him, like you postured up, and you just smacked him in the face, and they're like, what in the fuck? You're like, your game just changed. Actually, that's a good segue into the EBI, Eddie Bravo Invitational, that has combat jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking, yeah, dude, EBI is badass. They take jiu-jitsu, and you're allowed to do palm strikes, which obviously isn't going to, like, knock anybody out. But it inflicts enough damage
what's his name, Bass Rutten? Like, that motherfucker used to fuck people up with those palm strikes.
No, but, I mean, it's like enough of a fucking smack to where you're like, oh, I can't just transition into fucking half guard, or I can't just transition into side control because nobody's gonna smack me in the face.
Bust somebody's nose, bust an eardrum with that shit.
Exactly. You can leave your face completely exposed because it doesn't fucking matter. Like, now you have to be cognizant of the fact that somebody actually could whoop your ass at least a little bit.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into account when you're rolling anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
No, I
MMA
always
creeping into the shit.
It does, right?
God
I always took that into consideration. Like, it was always in my mind when I was doing jiu-jitsu. Like, I always, keep my head down on their chest, like under their chin, kind of. I never would just kind of throw it out there and look up and leave it hanging. I think it's just bad.
But that's a thing.
Bad habits.
That's a thing, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like you see people rolling in real life situations like, oh, jiu-jitsu fucking person on the street takes you by the legs, be like, well, I hope he can fucking take a shot because I'm going to punch him in the fucking face real quick.
Yeah.
You better wrap my arms up, son, because I'm going to be swinging. Anyway, I don't know. Tangent, UFC,
Dude, I'm better to go watch that
brought to you by
fight.
UFC Fight Night. Damn it, dude.
Yeah.
I got to go buy YouTube TV. This is not a sponsor of the podcast. But a sponsor of the podcast is...
We have sponsors? Walter White Meth.
AlexJones.com /
he's getting pummeled right now.
Oh, is he? What do he do now?
He's had channels removed from Facebook and from YouTube for like content violations.
For being awesome?
Shut the fuck up. People are going to take these clips and take you seriously.
I don't... Good.
No! No, goddamn it, Alex Jones is...
He said that he likes fucking Alex Jones.
I agree with you.
I agree. It was all from the regressive left.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Alex Jones.
All right, man, let's go ahead and wrap this up so I can go watch this fucking fight.
This is beautiful. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Look, we did an hour, and we didn't even get close to covering enough things.
No, racism solved, man. Like, it's over.
to explore any idea. This is our when do you see on network TV an hour conversation about anything between two people? And we didn't even get close to fucking like really diving into things. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like an idea of when you get those little sound bites when you're watching whatever media outlet that you have, like, man, look for alternative sources. They're fucking out there. Look
Yeah.
for long form conversations,
Exactly.
man. It's good shit for you.
Do research and look into things before you make decisions. Make informed decisions. Be an informed voter, however you vote.
Yeah, especially listening to us. Like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
But anyways, shit, on that note, we're right there, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back very fucking soon. Love y'all, and please be good to each other, as always.
Peace.